It's time for a death battle!
The Kanto starters, my favorite is Venusaur, and he died first.
I'm starting to sense a pattern here.
Now this fight was one that I really was unsure what would happen. I mean, sure I was rooting for Venusaur, but I wasn't too upset that he lost. Why? Because I was so happy that Charizard didn't win.
Now, don't get the wrong idea. I like Charizard. I'm just in the boat that thinks he's a tiny bit overrated.
Anyways, they did this the best way they could have possibly done with this fight. Make it as if they were level 100s with no training involvement whatsoever. Making any arguments of, we should be the blasters, completely invalid. Granted, they did give them well over 4 moves, like pretty much every move they can naturally learn, but I can let it slide. Plus, I like how they showed that there were thousands of possible outcomes for this fight, but Blastoise just won most of them. So now I can't be the only one who's curious of which starters would win in their respective generations. I'm not going to force them to do anything.
It's time for a death battle!
Talk about a rough ride.
You do not belong here. This is sacred ground. Leave.
Oh yeah, tough guy? Make me.
Wow, look, another very controversial battle that most arguments people give is... Your attack is clearly biased against all anime, because an anime character has never won a battle, not once!
Of course, ignoring him, and him.
Anyways, we have 2 Masters of Earth, one control over sand, the other control of, well, pretty much everything. Except for Platinum and maybe Lava. We've never seen a Lava band, so maybe she can't, but maybe she has off screen. Just forget it. That's not important. Now, I know not even 30 seconds ago I made fun of the stereotypical anime fan, and well, let's be perfectly honest, if you legitimately act like that, you kinda deserve it. But to be perfectly honest, I was surprised that Toph won. Going into this battle, I thought that she would lose. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy she didn't. I am so glad I did not have to see Toph die. Which, well, I guess since we're here, honorable mention to not seeing Kirby die either. Yeah, that's on the list, spoilers. Anyways, I know the controversy comes from, like, they mentioned that you have to be faster than the speed of sound or something like that to avoid Gar Sand. Perhaps that was an exaggeration or just something they overlooked in the research, but that's probably once again a gravity formula situation, a minor detail that didn't really affect anything. I just think that Toph probably had this one because she has more options than just tiny grains. Let's also not ignore the fact that, you know, Earth is their weapon and Gara is covered in the stuff. I will give Gara credit, he did put up a fight where even though it was more being an annoyance and setting up defenses, but unfortunately, no matter how strong a wall is, it is still able to fall.
how it's done.
It's time for a death battle!
Alright, Saba. Time for a weekly test run.
Excellent. Let's test the weapon systems.
Just make sure the safety systems are on.
Safety systems activated. That will probably dissipate, right?
Zex, what are you doing down there?
Hello, Nine. Just brooding over how I nearly destroyed the Earth.
That again? You've gotta lighten up, you grump. Well, how about we do that thing you're always asking about? You know, the one that rhymes with your name.
What? Really?
Of course. I think it's finally time.
Nine. No! Eventually.
I think I'll drive.
Warning! Bogey approaching fast! 200 meters!
Must be one of Zet's.
0 meters!
Huh?
I'll break your face!
Is it just me, or do Zed's goons keep getting smaller and angrier?
Remember when I said that having a tragic enough backstory you can basically make me jump ship? Well, it turns out that if you make the guy I'm cheering for accidentally kill his opponent's girlfriend, you could do the same thing. Speaking of ships, we finally got a mech battle, with the two most perfect series to do with it, Power Rangers and Gundam. Now I'll admit the only Gundam series I've ever seen was probably about 2/3 of G Gundam, and as for Power Rangers, yeah, I watched it when I was younger, but I probably wouldn't rewatch it now, though I do like Super Sentai, because, let me just put it this way, if you think Power Rangers is ridiculous, you haven't seen anything. Anyways, you have the size and firepower of the Tigerzord versus the speed and nimbleness of Epion. Though the speed seems to be winning, and then we get this moment.
What? What's that?
Quick, Tommy! There's circle on his chest! It must be a weak spot!
Right.
Don't get cocky.
What? He didn't explode?
Well, this defies all logic!
Power Rangers logic does not work on Gundams. Though the Tigerzord does gain a bit more ground once he calls in the other Zords, but in the end, it's not enough. And everyone's favorite Power Ranger suffers the same fate as all the monsters he's fought over the years.
Here it comes. Routing all power to thrusters. And now to the beam saber. No!